David Moyes' Client Blue Army rung out in their way end last night, understandably so, not for the first time this season either, but last night was the first time I saw David Moyes react to it. The clip West Ham put up last night, you'd have to have a heart of stone not to smile at it. You could see how happy Moyes was to hear it. He acknowledged it, he cupped his ear to the fans, he smiled, he was beaming with pride in himself and his team and with the fans as well, and rightly so, because everything last night was just perfect. David Moyes' Client Blue Army in the stands, and I'll tell you what, it's David Moyes' army on the pitch as well. That was the most David Moyes performance ever. I woke up buzzing still. I'm absolutely buzzing with last night's performance and result as well. And listen, individually, there's been better performances. Ryan Fredericks was superb last night. He was better at Villa Park last season. Declan Rice was my man of the match. I've seen him play better games for West Ham, and I'll probably see him play better games for West Ham this season as well. In terms of entertainment, it wasn't the most entertaining game, was it? I was more entertained against Leicester a few weeks ago, away to Newcastle earlier this season. But last night, it wasn't about that. It wasn't about individual players. It wasn't about entertainment. It was about sort of getting the job done, and that was the most David Moyes performance I've seen in a long, long time. It reminded me of Everton away last season. We went up to Everton around about the Christmas period, and they, when you play a lot of fixtures in a short space of time, they had their previous game postponed. I think it was against Villa due to COVID. Villa had a lot of players out for COVID, so the game got postponed. So Everton were fresh, they were rested up, and it felt like we were up against it a little bit at Goodison Park, but we won. It wasn't the most entertainment game whatsoever, but we won through tactics, through hard work, through every player knowing what their job is, and it got us the 3 points at Goodison Park, and it got us the 3 points last night. I thought we were unbelievable. Like I said, entertainment factor in that, it wasn't the highest, but it wasn't about that. It's a cup game. Cup games are about results, and we got a superb result last night. I feared last night a little bit, because of the unknown quantity of Dynamo Zagreb. I didn't know what to expect from them. How would we fare in European football? Don't know. There's little evidence there. When I saw the lineup, I was a bit concerned about the defence as well. But from the first whistle to the last whistle, Moyes got his tactics, his lineup spot on, and the players on the pitch executed it absolutely perfectly. I was really, really proud of the players last night, and I'm pleased David Moyes was able to acknowledge that song. I'm sure he's heard it earlier this season, but it's during the game. But last night, the fans got kept in, they sang it, Moyes heard it, smiled, loved it, and I've never been so glad to be so wrong about somebody. I really am, because I didn't want him back at West Ham. I'm not going to go into it. I've covered it. I've done a video specifically about being wrong. But last night, you do just see Moyes reacting. You just think, go on, lad. Enjoy it. You deserve it. Because there's no point in having the best orchestra in the world if you don't have the conductor there. You need somebody to lead. You need somebody to take charge of everything. Otherwise, it just won't work. And that's exactly what Moyes has done. He's taken charge of everything. This is David Moyes' football club. That was David Moyes' team last night. When Pellegrini was here, Pellegrini used to speak about the big club mentality, and it made sense. It made complete sense about what Pellegrini was speaking about, and he was referring to various things, whether it's the attitude of going into games, whether it's about the training ground. He used to refer to the big club mentality. David Moyes has done that. Pellegrini spoke about it, Moyes has built it. David Moyes has delivered the big club mentality, and last night was a perfect example of that. We went to what was, on paper, a very difficult fixture, and it is a difficult fixture. I'm not going to do the preview, the build-up and all that and say, oh, this is a hard game, a point to be a good point. I stand by all that. But last night, we made it look easy. Not because of Zagreb, because of West Ham United, and the players, and in particular, the manager as well. And I couldn't be more proud of the boys than I am this morning. We made that game look easy. And this just shows that we are taking this European campaign seriously. That lineup, the attitude, the desire, everything said, West Ham taking this competition seriously. Saw Mark Noble in the pre-match build-up press conference. He's speaking about wanting to go on and win it and saying there's no reason why we can't go on and win it. And it's hard to disagree with him when you play like that last night and when you're led by David Moyes. And like I said, I've gone completely wrong and I've never been more proud to get it wrong. Last night was it was a historical moment for West Ham. And the best thing about it, when I say Moyes has built this big club mentality, it's not just that. He's also built his team. He's got rid of most of the players he doesn't fancy. There might be one or two left that he's not been able to move on. But last night we saw his team. Up front we had Michail Antonio, someone that he's moulded into a striker, because he has moulded him into a striker. And I know people will still refer to him as a winger playing up front. As far as I'm concerned, my own personal opinion, he's not that anymore. He is not a winger playing up front. He's a striker playing striker. He won the number 9 shirt in the summer. He got it. He deserved it. And he's playing like a number 9, Michail Antonio. All season he has been scoring what you would call striker goals. Last night was another striker goal. And it's not just the fact that Antonio, as striker, got the goal. It's how we got the goal. The high press that David Moyes is implementing more so this season than ever. We got it through that. Through Michail Antonio reading and knowing what Manuel Lanzini is off to do. Before the defender has even played the ball back to the goalkeeper, Antonio's moving. Antonio has already read the situation, sees what Lanzini's doing, and he knows that Lanzini's going to continue to press, and he's already started to make a move to that goalkeeper. It was perfect. And yes, there is an element of luck. The defender plays it back and we're able to nick the ball. But that goal, while most people will see it and think, well, this is the defender's fault, it sort of is. But actually, I think instead of criticising the defender, I think there's more praise should go to West Ham, because Antonio is anticipating that. Should Antonio be standing still, the goalkeeper probably does get his foot to that, because Antonio only just nicks it, doesn't he? He doesn't get there 3 seconds earlier. He just nicks it. The keeper doesn't even know Antonio's on the way. He's there because of the way David Moyes plays football, because of the trust that these players have in each other. And this is a special team. We are playing European football on merit. And I will be honest, part of me was a bit worried that when the fans come back, will it be the same? Not quite Moose on TalkSport, which is, well, no, we know what he said. Not quite to that extent, but there was a part of me that thought, what's it going to be like when fans are back? Is it going to be the same? So far, it's been the same at worst. I would argue it's even better, that this team that we've now seen is moulded even more in the form that David Moyes wants us to play. I think Kurt Zouma last night was really good, but I think he's a fantastic coup for West Ham. I really, really do. I think he'll go on to challenge, if you like, for Ham of the Year. Rice is obviously the runaway contender so far, but I think Zouma will be up there. Come the end of the season, I think Kurt Zouma will be in most people's minds about winning Ham of the Year. And that's the type of signings we are making now. We're not buying players and hoping they fit. We are buying players only if they will fit, and that's because of the manager. You have to attribute that to the manager. We've got Rob Newman coming in now as head of recruitment, and I just hope that works with David Moyes. And a couple of years ago, if we brought in a new head of recruitment to liaise with the manager, even David Moyes, Pellegrini, Bilic, whoever it is, I would have been a bit apprehensive. I wouldn't know if it was going to work, but let's see what happens, kind of thing. Actually, now I'm quite confident. Whoever comes in, I feel confident will work under David Moyes, because everything he touches is just working at the minute, isn't he? He's become, well, when he kept us up the first time, there was that meme going around, wasn't it? He was on his head on Jesus' body. Moisaya. It feels a bit like that at the minute, doesn't it? David Moyes at Clan Blue Army, David Moyes is Messiah as well. Everything is just going right for him. And he deserves it. He really does deserve it as well. But last night was just I think it was important, because it sort of shows people, and I say people, not just West Ham fans, because I think most West Ham fans know last season wasn't a fluke. West Ham fans believe in what we're doing. But I do think there's some, like myself, who in the summer, when you do the old prediction, where's West Ham going to finish, there's an element of expecting it to go wrong. I fell into that category in the summer. I was one of these people that thought it was almost like, you don't normally have 2 good seasons in a row as a West Ham fan, so we've had 1 good season, it's time for it to go not as good. Now, by that, I didn't mean relegation. I still thought we'd get top half football. I saw very, very few West Ham fans, if any, saying West Ham would not finish in top half this season. But I would have put us in the 8th, 9th position category, thinking the Europa League would impact our form, and that still may happen. We're yet to see enough evidence. It's 1 game. Let's see after 6 group stage games, and then we'll get the impact of the Europa League on us. But for the non-West Ham fans, most would have been thinking that is a fluke by West Ham. Europa League now, oh, they're going to be relegation candidates. And there was a few people out there speaking about us finishing in the bottom half, struggling. But they were going on the evidence of clubs like Burnley. We are not Burnley. We're not Burnley. We've added the squad depth in the summer to some extent. Yes, we're still a couple of players short, but you know something? Man City are a couple of players short. They don't have a striker. They've got Jesus. They've got Gabriel Jesus, but they need another striker as well. City are short. If Man United are a midfielder short of having a team to challenge for the title. Fred, McTominay, Matic, that's not good enough. They need someone else in there. So most clubs are one or two players short of having. Chelsea perhaps have the complete squad. Anyway, I'm going off a tangent, but you know what I'm trying to say. So yes, maybe. But I thought a lot of non-West Ham fans were expecting us to struggle this season. But what they're missing is that last season wasn't a fluke. Last season wasn't short term, it's a one-off. But long term, as West Ham fans, I think we have a belief and an expectation now. And I think this is my point. I've gone from being a bit wary to almost being convinced that we could possibly repeat the success of last season. Now, what success looks like is different. It might not be another 6th place finish in the league. It may be 8th, but a very successful run in European football, challenging for the FA Cup next year as well. I don't know. I don't know what success is. But after last night's performance, what we saw, on the face of it, it's a 2-0 win away to Zagreb. The football was good. We controlled the game. We made it look easy. But I think it's much more than that. I think it's almost a symbol of what David Moyes is doing at West Ham that game. That 90 minutes last night showed what David Moyes is doing. And if you don't support West Ham, go watch that game. And like I said, it's not the most thrilling game. It's quite boring in patches. But that's what we needed to do last night. We needed to go out there and control the tempo, dictate the game. And that's exactly what we did. From start to finish, we were in control. Moyes is in control of West Ham United. And it really is becoming David Moyes' Claret and Blue Army, whether that's in the stands or on the pitch. It's thoroughly enjoyable. Really, really enjoyable. Anyway, enough blabbering from me. I'm going to disappear. I had to do this video today because obviously tonight, myself and Gonzo have got the Man United preview because the games are coming thick and fast now. And I didn't really want to not talk about last night because I don't know. I've got a little bit of an extra spring in my step this morning because of how proud I am of last night's performance. And I just think that it's possibly our most important win in a long, long time. That actually, this win last night is very similar to the win against Chelsea just over 2 years ago when we beat them 3-2 at the London Stadium in that COVID playoff period. You know, when we came back after COVID, 9 games, go in the space of a month. Antonio was Player of the Month and stuff, and we were drawn 2-2 with Chelsea, weren't we? Yarmolenko come off the bench, scored the goal, won the game 3-2, and that sort of started the momentum. We then went on to stay up. Happy days. That game was hugely important. That win against Chelsea, I think, was one of our most important wins in a long time. I think last night is up there with that win. Actually, it was different, wasn't it? It was different. That West Ham last night was different. That result last night was different. And it's bloody good. Anyway, I'm definitely disappearing now. Drop a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're around here. We're not far away from the old 20,000. So if you haven't already subscribed, please do. And we might hit 20,000 soon. That'd be much appreciated. But I'll see you tonight with Gonzo. Catch you in a bit.